Okay, so diving right into the strategy that I'm going to be teaching in this video that's going to help you pass your challenges or get payouts depending on where you're at. So I'm teaching the high of day and low of day VWAP breaks. It's just a swing high and low VWAP, and it's basically just capitalizing on trend. Now, I have a 77% win rate on this strategy last year and a profit factor of 3.2. So and this strategy presents every single day. It is, and I took a trade on it today actually. So I'm going to break down a few examples of how you can basically find this trade setup. Now, what you're going to do is these black lines are not necessary for the setup. You're just going to let the first probably 30 minutes of the open come in. It's going to shake out, do whatever it needs to do, and we're looking to capture the trending move after the open is set. So what I'm going to do here is just slowly put this in replay mode so that we can break down what's happening live on the charts. Now, what we see here is the 7 o'clock news candle breaking us for new highs of session, and we set a high of day. Now, at this high of day, you're going to put the anchored VWAP. I have lots of videos on this. You can find it right here in the forecasting and measurement tools, and it's going to be right under volume-based anchored VWAP. You grab it and you drag it onto any candle. Now, the setup is once you have a high set, you wait for at least a 3-candle retracement on the 1-minute chart. I'll say that one more time. Once the high is set, you know the high is set when you start having candles pull back off the high. You're going to wait for 3 candles at least to retrace under this VWAP, and then you're going to look for the break. Now, what we're looking for here is the VWAP to come down and then start to flatten out, and then the price to consolidate and then break this line. When it breaks this line, that is your entry signal. So let's keep going on this trade. Now, we hold the New York VWAP and we break high of day VWAP. Now, boom, this is your entry with a stop at the last level of structure. Now, this strategy, I generally just go for a 1-to-1 move. And because you saw I have a 77% win rate, if I just hit 1-to-1, I'm going to be profitable in the long run. So now let's just let this trade play out as it would, and let's see what happens. It's very important that you let these trades play out as they will, because it's not always going to move in a straight line. Now, you can see this one was a profitable setup. They're not always going to be profitable, but this one was. So that's the basic breakdown of this setup. Let's go through a few more examples so that we can see what's going on. Now, here's a great example of a potential short. Now, I did say to wait 30 minutes. If you don't have that much patience or you're on the East Coast and you want to take it at the open, when you do get trending moves like this where it's making these clean structures at the open, you can definitely hop in short and you would be breaking. And so we set a new low, we anchor it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 candles that retrace above the VWAP, and then we break it. So now I'm going to put on the candle. I'm going to put the stop at the last structure, and then I'm just going to target a 1R move. As you can see, there's another example of this setup playing out. Now, here's another great example of how you could trade this. So we have the high of session here. And then if we notice, similar to how today we broke the high of session, retested, and then continued higher, let's see what happens today. We break the high of session. We can put anchor on that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles underneath it, and then a break of that level, putting the stop at the last structure, and you're going for 1R. This one, yeah, you're going for 1R. And here, you're actually it's going to be a little bit of a longer trade, but you're still going to make your 1R if you're patient. So let's go through one more example. I do have actually, you know what? I have a lot of videos on this very exact setup. I'm going to link in the description. So now that you guys understand that, let's get a little bit into the risk management portion of the the system, because that's also very important. So I'm just going to go and we're going to do a couple quick calculations here. So if you have a max drawdown of, let's use the 50K account, and you can adjust these numbers however you like. What we're going to do is we're going to set, and this is specifically for the challenges. If you're going to be, I will also make another one for the sim funded accounts right after this. So just, fast forward a few minutes if you want to go to the sim funded drawdown number. So for a challenge account, if you have the max drawdown of $2,000, you're going to set a personal daily loss limit of $1,000. That way you can take 2 full days of max daily loss before the account is blown. Now, I personally, with this 77% win rate, it's going to be very hard to take a full loss of $1,000, because each trade, risk per trade, is going to be $500. So that way you get 2 swings a day, with the max daily loss that you can lose is 1,000. So you're going to be risking 500 per trade, and you're going to have the personal daily loss limit of $1,000. Now, your profit for the day, you're going to stop. You're going to do between 1,000 to 1,500 a day. Now, I don't think it's wise to try and go for the whole entire account in one day. That means you're opening yourself up to large amounts of risk. So I highly recommend you going for either 1,000 to 1,500, depending on how many trades a day you take. And also, be happy with 500 too. If you're busy on the day, no worries, because like I showed you, we're going to be doing a 1R multiple trade. But there are so many of these setups that present a day. You can definitely find 2 setups risking $500 to make 1,000 a day. That is how I pass all of my challenges. So this is going to be the risk management for the funded, or for the eval accounts. Now, for a sim funded account, here's what I recommend. So you don't have a profit target. And with this, you're either going to make the profit target in 2 to 3 days if you stay consistent. Now, with the sim funded account, you have a or you have a consistency rule, a 20% consistency rule. So that means if you have let's say you're shooting for $5,000, because there's no clear dollar amount you have to make. You just have to be within the consistency rule. If you have a $5,000 profit target, you're going to divide that by 0.2, which equals 1K a day. Now, that's the max that you can make here. This 1K a day is the very max that you should be making. So with that being said, let's get down to risk per trade. Now, I recommend for a 150K account, risk per trade is around $500. For a 100K account, I would do $350. And for a 50K, $200. This is going to keep you in the game for longer. The sim funded accounts are more expensive, and you don't want to be blowing these things just willy-nilly. So I would highly recommend sticking to this risk tolerance for the sim funded account, and just shoot for your profit target. You have to make a number in your head that you're comfortable with, that's going to allow you to take the payout on the consistency rule, but also not make it too far that you're going to struggle with trading size and whatnot. So with that all being said, Top One Futures is the sponsor of this video, and they are definitely going to take care of you if you trade with them. They have a lot of great customer service and fast payout speed. So definitely use the link in my description, because you're going to get the max discount possible. And always DM me, hit me up if you have any questions about passing a challenge, the risk that you should be using. Just send me a DM, and I will definitely get back to you.